So good evening once again, guys. So I hope your Diwali gone well, whatever. So from here onwards, we need to get back to our normal track itself. So in the past few days, I think I provided some kind of projects to work on, isn't it? Especially the heat load analysis using Excel sheet, and including on that Excel sheet, I attached some CAD drawings also, isn't it? So whatever, I hope you are a bit much coped with the CAD drawings and the Excel sheet drawings. So whatever. Today we were moving to a next topic, which I already given a small interface about the HAP software, isn't it? So basically, HAP stands for Hourly Analysis Program. So this HAP software is much more convenient and reliable than that of this Excel sheets. Why? Because it's first of all, it's a software-based approach, and secondly, you know, uh, most of the MNC companies will demand the heat load calculation with the help of this HAP software itself. So we might need to know how these heat load analysis done right inside this kind of HAP software. So first of all, this HAP software is invented or created by the carrier itself. The carrier, the leading MEP brand. So Carrier invented this HAP software. And actually, I'm using right here, it's a version of 4.9, and the latest version is also available. So whatever, the basic idea of HAP software is it is much more precise, and you can expect a real-time comparison with the loads that you'll be having right inside the areas. So much preferably, this HAP software is much more easy and convenient to do. At the same time, you will be getting a more precise values and capacities, especially the quantity of air required for that area according to the loads. Okay. So if you compare this Excel sheet, in that Excel sheet, we've been done the calculation according to a peak load a month. Uh, Among the peak load month, you've been considered it has to be a full load condition itself, isn't it? But whereas in the case of HAP software, you can use some kind of preferentially some kind of factor which is named as schedule creation. Okay, so with the help of the schedule creation, you can actually uh, get a proper biased HAP output. Okay, so that's what we actually want at the end of this calculation itself. So let's get hop over to that HAP calculation. So I'm gonna start with this theorem project. So on that day, I especially explained the datas and the indices provided by the client itself. So we can see this is the area that have been taken for this project right now itself. So I think you've been done this project also, isn't it? I already shared the project in the WhatsApp itself. So whatever. Now I'm gonna do the HAP or the Howley analysis program based heat load analysis for the specific theorem project right now itself. So initially I'm gonna open the software. So you can see this is the HAP software. So you can see this now, Hourly Analysis Program, Carrier, United Technologies. So this is what the opening interface will should looks like. Just click OK. Fine. Then I'm just closing this one. I'm going to start over with the new thing. So this is how the exact opening interfaces of an HAP 49. So I told you I'm using HAP 4.9. That's why it is meant to be HAP 49. So it should looks like. So among this project, I'm going to click on to this new. Now you can see the ventilation standard. You can see two tabs. The first one is general and the other one is project. If you click on to this general tab, actually the measurement units are being provided right inside the tab itself. It is in SI metric and English. So which one we need to use? We need to use this English only, which means to be the feet, inches, watt per square feet. So something, it should comes like that way itself. We will be done the state load calculation like this way itself, isn't it? So that's why we need to consider it has to be an English units. If you're using millimeter, then you can go into SI metric itself. That's up to you. Suppose if the operating mode is disabled, this enable energy analysis feature, just make it click on this one, which means to enable this energy analysis feature right on this upcoming calculation itself. Okay, so whatever, it's just another index for this operating mode itself, which means actually through this app software, you can not only analyze the capacity of the machine, at the same time, you can analyze the energy and other kind of things. But actually, for us, it is not required to. Okay, now that's it. Next of all, it's about the project. So among this project tab, you can see the ventilation standard. Just click on to the ventilation standard and make it as the newest version available. Okay, for both like energy standard and ventilation standard, make it has to be the latest version available on that tab itself. Later, you can see the third row, which is mentioned as to be lead rating system. So what do you mean by lead? Actually, lead, which implies leaders in environmental energy design. So these are kind of NGOs itself. Technically, the concept of lead system is like a more like we can say, yeah, green building approaches. That means preferentially they having a team right inside the building to analyze the annual energy consumption. So according to the statistics of those energy being used right inside the building, and they will do some kind of calculation and other kind of troubleshooting in order to reduce the usage of that energy for the next year, which means preferentially they will change the concepts of using of this energy resources right inside the building. And by changing the usage and the consumption of this energy, preferentially the running cost of the system should be decreases, and the efficiency of the machine should be increased. So these concepts are preferentially run by this lead concepts itself. Okay, but however, here we don't require any kind of lead things. Let it be there itself. Let it be just blank, or likewise lead 2009. That's it. The main thing is the ventilation standard and energy standard. Just make it has to be the newest version available. That's it. Once it's done, just click OK. Fine. And after that, you can see this menu. Among this tab menu, you can see a lot of things like weather, spacers, system plans, buildings. Then it's about the project libraries like schedule, wall, roof, window, door. A lot of things are there. Actually, here we will be using three important tabs, such as to be weather, space, and systems. Okay, weather, space, and systems. Fine. So let's get started with this one itself. The first one, untitled. Just right click on this one. Then you can see the property should be appeared right in the right side itself. Just click onto the property. Then you can see project name. So we need to define the uh, project name, which means to be the project that you are going to do with the help of this HAP software itself. So I'm going to mention it has to be the project name, is theorem, and the job number. And automatically the date should be updated from your computer itself, and the contact name. So here I'm mentioning my company name, which has to be ACE, then contact type. So this means to be actually who is doing this project, which is meant to be who is operating this HAP software. Probably it should be designer itself. That's why I am mentioning it has to be a designer right here itself. That's it. Once you enter the project name, and the other things are not important though, but I'm saying if you are working for a company, you can enter those values right there itself. Once it's done, just click OK. Then you can see here the project is updated. Named has to be theorem. Okay. So this is the first and primary step. And after that, let's go into the weathers. So among this one, you can see just double tap this off. Double tap this tab. We can see a lot of tabs are there. Design parameters, design temperature, design solar, and simulation, isn't it? So let's get started with the design parameters. Here we can see the region, which is in USA, and location is Illinois, and city is Chicago, AAP, isn't it? So it's a preset weather data should be taken from the ASHRAE charts itself. So according to our need, we need to change these values. How? Here, the project is Bangalore, isn't it? That means we need to change the values according to Bangalore itself. So initially, I'm starting over the region. Among this region, choose on to Asia and Pacific, and the location should be India, then among India, you can see only major metropolitan cities are only included. It has to be Bangalore, Calcutta, Chennai, Goa, Mumbai, Nagpur, New Delhi, Trivandrum, and Ahmedabad. So this doesn't mean the other values are not provided. It's simply, first of all, it's like an user defined method itself. For example, if I need Kochi, you can manually enter it has to be Kochi, and later you must need to enter the values such as to be the latitude, longitude, elevation, and the dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, daily range temperature from the corresponding ISHRAE charts itself. Okay. So in this HAP software, especially they've been entered or they've been provided the important cities right inside India itself. All right. So you don't need to worry about the other states or other cities that you need. You can actually or manually type the value right inside this tab itself or right inside the cells itself. Now I'm just choosing the Bangalore, and you can see automatically the elevation is updated. And here there's a small change. It is not 94, it's 96, which is the dry bulb temperature. We can see these values are taken from word 2001 ASHRAE handbook. Okay, that's why. Then the summer daily range temperature is 22, and the window design dry bulb, that is not important though. And on the other end, you can see atmospheric clearance number. So actually, this value depends upon the areas itself, and you at the same time you can see the average ground reflectance. This means to be actually this ground reflectance value should ranges from 0.2 to 0.7 something, which implies nothing but if you consider a normal meadow region, meadow which means what? The grass regions, the normal area should be considered as the meadow regions itself. And in these regions, the ground reflectance value is around like 20%, which means zero point 0.2. Or in other words, we can say here as if the sunlight or the energy from sun should be scattered across the earth itself. At the same time, these energy should be absorbed like 80% should be absorbed to again to the earth itself, and the remaining 20% should be scattered around. So this is the average ground reflectance value. But if you consider some regions like snow regions, indoor the ground reflectance value should be varies from 0.7 to 0.8. Why? Because that is first of all it's a snow, and the other thing is snow is white colored, so probably it should be reflected back itself, isn't it? That's what happens in those areas. So this is the concept right here itself. So nothing else to change. These are the important things that you need to check while choosing this area, latitude, and this driver temperature, elevation, and wet bulb temperature and DBT. Okay. All right. That's it. Later, you can see the design temperatures. So it's nothing but it is the max temperature and minimum dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature at each month. You can see for January, February, and this is the hourly detail view. For example, you can see right here itself. For January, pardon, I told you we will be considering the peak temperature range, which is meant to be June, July, or like May, June, July, something, isn't it? For example, if I'm considering June or May, you can see for May at 12 o'clock. You can see this is the hour, which is meant to be from 12 o'clock to, then you can see at the bottom, it should be varies from till 24, 23 something will be there. Okay. So you can analyze that. I told you we will be considering 4 p.m. as the sun time. Just check on to this value, guys. Here you can see for May dry bulb temperature at 12 o'clock, it's like 87°F. But for 1 o'clock, it should be 90°. For 2 o'clock, it should be 92°. At 3 o'clock, it should be 93°. But as in the case of 4 o'clock, it is 16 hours. We can see the value now it's 92. That means from here onwards or after 4 p.m. onwards, the temperature value should be comparatively reduced. Okay, due to the sun setting time. I told you now that scenario in that day itself. So this is one side. Pardon. So this is the concept behind this one. Or this is why we are considering 4 p.m. as to be the sun time consideration. Clear? Later on this design solar, this is the maximum solar heat gain through each exposure at each month. And similarly, the simulation. So simulation, which means it's like a calendar updation. Okay, calendar updation. We can see, do not change this tab right here itself. Let it be none itself. Okay. But on this side, you can see January 1st is Wednesday. So what that actually means. January 1st is Wednesday, which means it's nothing but here we need to update the calendar for the project. For example, if this theorem project is starting right at the beginning of January of this year and ending at August or September, then we can consider that means, in other words, actually the implementation of the site should be from September onwards, isn't it? That means, however, we can consider the calendar of this year itself. But just imagine or just assume it has to be if the correct, if the project is starting at September start or the beginning of September and ending at December midweek. So what happened? So which year we need to consider? That means we need to consider for the next year. Then only the design calculation should be proper. uh, For it. Why? Because the implementation should be start from the next year itself, isn't it? That's why we need to consider next year has to be the consideration. So simply the concept is very simple. Here we are updating the calendar of the project year itself. So it will helps you to give more precise value according to the whole holidays and other kind of things. So here I'm considering this year itself. So this year starts with Monday. I hope Monday or Sunday. Yeah, Monday itself. Then according to your company, you can actually add the what you can say add the holiday lists. Especially here, I'm considering January 26. Just double tap onto this date itself. It should be automatically added to the holiday list right here itself. Later, it's about February, March, April, and May. Just double tap it. That's occupational, oh no, occupants day, whatever, workers day. Yeah, that's it. Then August 15, then September, October 2. So once again, guys, here actually you can enter your or you can feed your traditional like Onam, Diwali, and Pongal. That's also you can add if your company is working in those timeline itself. But here I'm importantly mentioning the major national holidays itself. Okay, now then November, December. Once again, guys, here December 25. I'm not going to consider, or if you're going to consider it, so that's it. Like if your company is working on that day or not, then you can make it has to be a holiday or nothing. Okay, so these are the major things that I'm considering. So if I'm double tapping it, one, what happened? The 25 December should be excluded from that main calendar itself, which means it should be considered as a holiday list. Okay, so this is the first primary step which we need to update on the weather properties. Clear? You can see right in it here, Bangalore. Why? Because we entered the data of Bangalore itself. So is the first and primary step is clear? Clear, guys? Hello? Hello? Is it okay? Which one? So this is nothing but the simulation, which means you need to simply understand that it has to be, it's like some kind of calendar. So when your project is going to start and when is going to end. So according to this project duration, you might need to change the calendar of that project itself. That I mentioned before, if the project is starting on this year, January, and ends at August, we can consider the same year itself because we having 6 months more extra, isn't it? But similarly, if the project starts on this year, September, and ends on December, if you consider this year's calendar, what will happen? The holiday should be not same for the next year, isn't it? So we might need to consider the upcoming year load, isn't it? That's why we are considering the next year. So it's up to the project duration and the timings. Okay, so that's it. So once it's done, just click OK. Then the weather data is updated right here itself. All right. So this is the first step. Clear? Okay. Next of all, it's about the spaces. So before going into the spaces, we can see, yeah, I will explain this one itself. Just double tap onto this option. You can see there are different tabs are there. General, internals, walls, windows, doors, roof skylights, infiltration, flows, and partitions, isn't it? So let's start with the general itself. So here, you need to enter the space data, which is meant to be the name of the space. Just peep onto this drawing right here itself. Here, I told you, this is an office building. So probably the cabins should be different. Pardon? The area of each cabin should be different, isn't it? But however, now I'm gonna consider this entire theorem as to be a single area itself. We know that for manager cabin and chairman cabin and this office area, reception area, discussion room, utility room. It's all different. But however, here we are here we are going to take the capacity of the mission in totally, isn't it? That means we can simply consider the entire area as to be a single zone, isn't it? But there is an optional thing is there, which is like you can consider these cabins has to be an individual zones. For example, manager cabin 1, zone 1, manager cabin 2, zone 2, manager cabin 3, which is zone 3, and chairman cabin zone 4, office area zone 5, and reception and waiting area zone 6. So similarly, you can go on with the areas like this way. But I told you guys, actually, here I'm just one step ahead to find out the tonnage and the capacity of the mission itself. For that one, I'm going to consider this has to be an entirety itself. That means not going to split it again. I'm simply considering it has to be a single area itself. So that's what I done right here itself. I just enclosed the whole area with the help of this polyline command. Using this list command, we can simply all right. We can simply take out the area of this whole thing. So according to the drawing, here they mentioned as to be this conference room is separate AC. So alongside with this conference room, I excluded the pantry, executive toilet, this lift area, pantry, and gents and ladies toilet right here itself. So after excluding this area, I got an area around like something 2 crore something in millimeter. So I need to convert the value into what? Into square millimeter. So how do you convert the value? The area in square millimeters into 1.0785 into 10 raised to minus 5. So this is the equation to convert square millimeter into square feet. That is around like 2203, isn't it? So here I'm just using an Excel sheet in order to take out the value for much easily. That's it. Okay now. So don't confuse it. So yeah, just leave it though. Not going to enter the value right here. So what I got from this AutoCAD drawing is around like, yeah, 2203, isn't it? So once again, guys, I told you here I'm considering the theorem project has to be as an entirety itself. Okay, now. So theorem, I'm entering the name again. Suppose if you are entering the values as more precise, which means like if you're going with the zonal wise approach, then in this name column, you don't need to or you don't intend to do type the name has to be like this. Instead of that, you need to enter the name has to be manager cabin. Okay, MC cabin 1. Then the floor area of the manager cabin. That means we need to find out the area of each and every zones differently, and you need to create the area for each cabins or each areas separately. Okay, so that's the point. But here I'm just considering it has to be throughout itself. All right. What is the area that we got? 2204 something. And average ceiling height, which is the BOS value, which is 12 feet itself. So I'm going to enter the 12 feet. Then once again, I told you guys, actually the building weights, which is in pounds per square feet, that are normally considered as medium weight building itself, which is the value around like 70 pounds per square feet. So you remembered, isn't it? I hope this step is clear on that day itself. I explained about this one. So generally for medium weight buildings, the weight is around like 70 pounds per square feet itself. Next of all, it's about the OA ventilation requirements. So what do you mean by OA ventilation requirements? Satisfactorily, it is nothing but it's about the FACFM step, which is meant to be we need to find out the fresh air quantity value by using these two steps, isn't it? CFM per person method and ACPH method. That's what we are generally doing. But here you can see they're asking it about CFM per person, or either you can mention it as to be the total CFM, but I don't know the total CFM. Instead of that, you can go with CFM per person, and you can see the percentage of supply CFM per square feet. There is no ACPH. So let it be CFM per square feet itself. Okay. Then once again, here I need to enter the value of CFM per person and CFM per square feet value. Is it required? No, definitely not. Why? Because I told you this is actually a software based method itself. So for that one, it is not meant to enter the value as manually, but instead of that, you need to set the values according to the software itself. For example, I know this is an entirely an workspace, isn't it? So that means an office area. So here I'm going to consider this area as to be like office. You can see office break room, office main entry lobby, office space, occupiable storage space, reception area, telephone and data entry. So this is what I think that I told you guys. Actually, if you are segregating, it has to be some different kind of zones. For each zones, you can set these kind of values. Okay, so here I'm considering a telephone and data entry, which means like a medium or light works are carried on right that area itself. Then only the proper load should be achieved. Okay, that's why I'm considering telephone and data entry, or either you can consider office space itself. So, but however, I know in order to do some kind of some sedentary work or some light works, I'm gonna setting it has to be telephone and data entry right here itself. Okay. Now you can see the CFM per person value is automatically updated, which is 5 CFM per person, and the outside, pardon, the CFM per square feet value is 0.06 CFM per square feet. So these values are presetted by word from this ventilation standards. You can see ASHRAE standard 62.1 2010. You can see this now. So this is what have we done at the beginning of the or beginning and the opening of this app software itself, isn't it? So this is it. So is the space creation is clear, guys? Hello? Is the space creation is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Later, it's about the internals. So this tab clearly explains that the internal factors right inside the room, which are the overhead lighting, task lighting, electrical equipment, people, or other kind of loads, which is meant to be miscellaneous loads. Let's start with the overhead lighting itself. So inside this one, you can see three kind of lightings are there, which is recessed unvented, recessed vented, free hang. So I'm going to open this one very quickly. Yeah, you can see this now. Recessed unvented lights, recessed vented lights, and free hang lights. This is the task lighting lights. Actually, we don't need task lighting lights because the client is not provided any data regarding the task lightings. So what is the relevance of these kind of lights, especially recessed unvented, recessed vented, free hanging? Let's get a small peek onto this topic itself. Yeah, you can see this one. Now, recessed or LED unvented lights. On this one, you can see recessed means what? It should be attached on the fall ceiling itself. So, especially if it is an unvented LED recessed light, then the 47 percentage of radiant energy to the space itself, and 11 percentage of convective heat gain to air, and 27 percentage of this is sensible something radiation. Sorry, I will explain this one later itself. Okay, now. Okay, so whatever. So this is the concept of this lighting itself. And the other end, you can see recessed fluorescent without lens, unvented lights. Here, 68% of radiant energy to space. You can see if you are using a fluorescent bulb, especially a recessed one, then 68%. You can see the comparison between LED and fluorescent. Similarly, if it is a vented light, vented, that means probably the energy should be gone to the plenum itself, which means you can see on the side 54 percentage of convective heat gain to the ceiling. As in the case of free hanging, the 100% radiant energy to the on space itself. Okay, so this is the concept of right here itself. Here we are using fluorescent bulb, isn't it? And especially this is meant to be an unvented light itself. So let it be there itself. I'm not going to change the type. So why I shown this one itself, in order to get a proper idea between the difference of this each kind of aspects. That's it. Okay, clear? Hello, is it clear?
Sir, is all fluorescent lamps are resist unvented type?
Yeah, here we are considering actually, however, this is fluorescent, which means, fluorescent bulbs are much more creating energy to the space itself. That's why we are replaced fluorescent bulbs with an LED, isn't it? So this SW, I hope, yeah, this SW and LW, you can see this now. SW, which means short wave, and LW, which means long wave radiation. That's it. Clear? So whatever. Here I'm going with the resist unvented light itself. And what is the wattage value? which they already provided, 1 watt per square feet. So just change this one. Yeah, it's already preset in watt per square feet itself. I'm gonna just enter the value as to be 1 watt per square feet. For fluorescent bulb, the ballast multiplier value is 1.25, isn't it? That's it. Later, it's about the electrical equipment. So in this project or among this project, here they provided system dissipation 200 watt and printer dissipation 1 kilowatt. So initially we need to consider how much systems are there right inside the project itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 21, 24, nearly 25 systems or 24 systems, whatever you can consider. That means 25 into 200, isn't it? That means 5,000 watts. Then we need to add 1,000 watt for printer also, isn't it? You can see printer dissipation 1 kilowatt. So that means again total should be 6,000 watts. So here change it has to be in watts. Otherwise it should show some kind of error itself. Okay now. So here I'm entering the value 6,000 watts totally, including the systems and printer. And after that, it's about the occupancy. So how much people are there right inside the project itself? Let's check onto this one itself. Yeah, 63 people. It's not 63 people actually. It's a different thing. Let's get a let's yeah, we can see 3 seats. three something. So I hope it's around like yeah, I hope it's like 45 something. Whatever guys, here I'm just giving a random value. While you're doing HAP software, just provide the value properly. Okay now. So here I'm considering 45 number of persons are right there itself. According to the seatings you need to consider. Okay now. That means according to each seatings, 3, like 9 and 13 and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23, 24, 25, 26. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Yeah, around it's like 50. Yeah, around it's like 50. Okay. So, however, we know these 50 persons will not be occupied at full time, isn't it? It should be differs. We considered for manager cabin like 3 seats. Actually, these 3 seats will not be occupied full time, isn't it? But however, yeah, I'm gonna go with the 45 itself. Then you can see the sensible load and latent load is automatically updated. Why? Because in this general space, we mentioned as to be office area. That's why here also the activity level is mentioned as to be office work. Okay, clear? Then on bottom of this, each and every internal tabs, you can see some kind of schedule, isn't it? So what is the relevance of the schedule? So this is the important concept of this HAP itself. Here, we are going to define that how these lightings are going to work, or how these electrical equipments are going to work, or what should be the probable occupancy level at each hours. So that's what we are going to mention right now. So for that one, I'm going to click the schedule. We can see sample schedule. I'm going to mention it as to be. So let's start with, or let's assume I'm going to provide the office timings. Okay. That means we know these lightings and equipments and these peoples should work according to the office timing itself, isn't it? That's why here I consider it as to be fractional, which is meant to be people, lighting, equipment, and miscellaneous, sensible and miscellaneous related. Whatever. Let's start with the thing itself. So after that, after entering a name, whatever name you can prefer here, not a problem. Click on to hourly profiles. You can see there are different 8 type of profiles are there. Click onto the profile number 1. Okay, you can see on the bottom end, it starts from 0 to 3. Which is nothing but it is the duration, time duration, 24-hour time duration. So this is 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is 11, 12, and this is 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., then 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and again 12 o'clock. So this is the time duration that you can see right on the uh, hourly profiles itself. So let's assume, guys, this theorem project is an office area, isn't it? So let's imagine it has to be, or Desperately, we can take here. This company is going to work from Monday to Sunday, and office timing should start from morning 9 o'clock to evening 7 o'clock. Okay, so how the profile should looks like. So I'm gonna name it as to be Monday to Saturday according to the working time. The first profile I'm creating for the work days. Okay, this is for work days. Work days should be here. It's not about the dates, guys, which means the Monday, Saturday. It's not like that. It's purely about the work days and the other days, especially the we can see occupied stage and unoccupied stage. That means the lighting should be on or off. That's it. Or you can specifically mention the percentage of light loads right in the area. Okay. So for Monday to Saturday, these are the loads. You can see the 100%, which means it is full load. For example, I told you my office should be working from morning 9 to evening 7, isn't it? So you can consider from mornings 12 o'clock to uh, till 7 o'clock. There won't be any persons right inside my office, isn't it? That means zero load. Okay. But if the office is starting on 9 o'clock, probably some persons will be on the office at 8 a.m. to turn on the lights, turn on the generators, maybe turn on the AC. So, probably some persons will be there. So at 8 o'clock, I'm considering it has to be a 25% of load. Okay. Okay, clear? Or even you can mention it at 50%. It's up to you guys. That means, so this is the concept. Here, actually, these values are determining by yourself, which means you need to provide these kind of concepts according to the working hours of the company itself. Suppose if the company is working 24 into 7, you don't need to change anything. Just start from 0 to 11 o'clock. Here, the load should be fully up like this itself. Okay. But here, I'm just making a small inversion on this one. Okay. Now, at 9 o'clock, it should be 100%, which means to be full load from 9 to evening 7, isn't it? 7, which means in 24 time duration, it should be 20, 19, isn't it? Yeah, 19, that should be 100 itself. Then after that, at 20 means what? 8 p.m. However, the office is getting soon on 7 p.m. Some persons will be there till 8 p.m. to like an extra working, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna make it as to be 50%. Okay. Then the remaining should be 21 to 23 should be how much? 0. That's it. So this profile, which means from Monday to Saturday, the office working, especially the light should be turned on from, at 7 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, the light should be, or the lighting load should be around like 50%. From 9 a.m. onwards till 7 o'clock, the load should be 100%. But at the 8 o'clock, the person should be comparatively calm. But however, okay, it's a night time, isn't it? So we can consider lighting it has to be 100 itself. Okay, now. So it's all up to you guys. It's your call to make this decisions. Then on profile 2, I'm going to making it has to be on Sundays and holidays, these lights will not be working. That means from 0 to 24, it should be 0 load. That's it. So is the profile creation is clear? Tell me, guys, is the profile creation is clear?
Can you
It's clear,
explain once
clear.
more, sir?
Okay. So whatever he is. So let's be honest. Okay. One second. So this is the concept. Now I'll explain your native languages. Okay. So yeah. Tamil okay. Fine. കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് എത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ. നിങ്ങളുടെ കമ്പനി എങ്ങനെ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു, അപ്പം അതായത് നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തു കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റിന്റെ കമ്പനി എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും പ്രോബ്ലി വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ നോർമലി എല്ലാവരും ഒരു 100% കോൺസെപ്റ്റിലാണ് ഇടുന്നത്. ഞാനിതിന്റെ ഒരു അതർ സൈഡാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ പറഞ്ഞത്, മനസ്സിലായോ? അതായത് ഇപ്പം രാവിലെ 8 മണിക്ക് 9 മണിക്ക് കമ്പനി ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്യും, അല്ല ഓഫീസ് ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്യുവാണെങ്കിൽ പ്രോബ്ലി ഒരു 8 മണിക്ക് തന്നെ ആളുണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ 8 മണിക്ക് ഒരു പാർട്ട് ലോഡ് അവിടെ ഇട്ട്, അതായത് 8 മണിക്ക് തന്നെ ഓൺ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഫുൾ പേഴ്സൺസ് ഓക്യുപ്പൈഡ് ഫുൾ ലൈറ്റ്സും ടേൺ ഓൺ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല, ലിറ്റിൽ ബിറ്റ് ഒക്കെ ഓണേ കാണത്തുള്ളൂ. പക്ഷെ 9 മണി തൊട്ട് രാത്രി 7 മണി വരെ ഇത് ഫുൾ ഓൺ ആയിരിക്കും. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ 100% ഇട്ടത്. ഇതിന് 8 മണിക്കും ലീവ് എക്സ്ട്രാ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നവർക്ക് പോലും ആ ഫുൾ ലൈറ്റ് അവിടെ കാണും പ്രോബ്ലി. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് 8 മണിക്ക് ഞാൻ ഇട്ടേ, മനസ്സിലായോ? ദെൻ സൺഡേസ് ആൻഡ് ഹോളിഡേസ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഈ ലൈറ്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സാധനം ഉണ്ടാകത്തില്ല, കാരണം അന്ന് ഓഫീസ് ലീവാണ്. സോ പ്രോബ്ലി അവിടെ എന്ത് കാണത്തില്ല, ലൈറ്റിംഗ് കാണത്തില്ല. profile creation, it's not depends upon the dates or something. Okay, ഇവിടെ ഞാൻ Monday, Saturday എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കൺഫ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട. നിങ്ങളുടെ കമ്പനി എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഓക്കെ എന്ന് അതിനനുസരിച്ച് ഇടാം. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, just imagine guys, on morning time in my office not going to turn on my lights, then there won't be any load. But at night time from 5 o'clock onwards, you all be turning on the lights. So at that time the lighting load should be 100%. You get my point? Okay, clear ആണോ ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞത്?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Avinash, good. Is it good to go? Okay, fine. So Shafiq and Shahul and Shanmugam, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, once again I will explain in Tamil itself. Okay, not a problem. So இவ்வளவுதான்ப்பா. இப்போ நம்ம ஆஃபீஸ் என்ன டைமுக்கு ஒர்க் ஆகும் இந்த கான்செப்ட் நார்மலா 100% எடுப்பாங்க. ஓகேங்களா? லைக் ஃப்ரம் விடிய காலம் 12 மணில இருந்து நைட்டு 11 o'clock வரைக்கும் ஃபுல் லோட்ல போட்டு தான் நார்மலா எடுப்பாங்க. நான் இது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு அதர் சைட் சொல்லித்தரேன். ப்ராபபிளி இப்போ நீங்க கம்பெனில வந்து ஃபுல் டைம் ஒர்க்கிங் கிடையாது. தட் மீன்ஸ் அந்த அங்க இருக்கிற எக்யூப்மெண்ட்ஸா இருக்கட்டும், லைட்டிங்கா இருக்கட்டும், பீப்புளா இருக்கட்டும், கம்பேரிட்டிவ்லி இந்த ஒரு ஃபார்மேட்டுக்கு வர மாட்டாங்க. லைக் ஃபுல் டைம் அவங்க ஆக்கியூபைடா இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ எப்போ எல்லாம் ஆக்கியூபைடா இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ அது உங்களுடைய கால். அதை நான் இங்க போட்டுருக்கிறேன். இங்க 8 மணிக்கு ஃபுல்லா வந்தா அங்க வந்து 9 மணிக்கு ஸ்டார்டிங்கா இருந்தாலும் 8 மணிக்கு எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் பேர் வந்து உட்காருவாங்க, தெரியும்ல? ஸோ ப்ராபபிளி வி கேன் மேக் இட் ஹஸ் டு பி an 50% load for that area itself. Similarly, இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா மண்டே, சாட்டர்டே அந்த ஒரு கான்செப்ட் கிடையாது. இப்போ ஃபுல் மந்தா இருக்கட்டும், ஃபுல் இயரா இருக்கட்டும், whatever this concept is, இப்படிதான் உங்களுக்கு என் கம்பெனி எங்க ரன் ஆக போகுதுன்னு சொல்லி நான் ஒரு ப்ரீ டிட்டர்மைண்டான ஒரு ஸ்கெடியூல் நாங்க கிரியேட் பண்றேன். ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் மென்ட் டு பி தி ஸ்கெடியூல் கிரியேஷன். இப்போ சண்டேஸ் அண்ட் ஹாலிடேஸ்ல உங்களுக்கு கம்பேரிட்டிவ்லி அங்க யாருமே இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ ப்ராபபிளி அங்க லோடுமே இருக்காது. ஸோ தட் இஸ் த கான்செப்ட் ஆஃப் திஸ் ஒன் இட்செல்ஃப். கிளியர் guys? So once it's done, just click on to the assignments and we have to set the profiles according. So here is the portion. So I already mentioned that from Monday to Saturday, my company gonna work according to this first profile, isn't it? So I've been setted this profile to this specific dates, and you can see this applies for the whole months also from January to December itself. And similarly on Sundays and holidays, it should be working according to the second profile, which is no load condition. Clear? So this is the important key points that you need to understand while creating a schedule. Clear guys? Okay, Len? Okay. Is it a bit confusing? No? Is it okay, or you can jump?
Yes, sir.
Fine, that's it. So once you created these profiles, just click OK. Then you can see the schedule is updated right here itself. I told you guys, according to the schedule which I created for the lighting should be same as for the equipments also, isn't it? From morning 8 o'clock, there should be some kind of persons will be working. So we can make it as to the part load for that area itself. Which in other words, I'm going to simply take the same schedule for the lightings and for electrical equipments and even for peoples. Okay. For that one, let's click onto the office timings. And again, I'm using the same schedule, guys. If you need more specific, then you can create a different schedule for each internals. It has to be the lighting, electrical equipment, and people. Okay. I hope it's clear. That's it. Later, it's about the internal data, which is the main thing: walls, windows, door. So it's up to the project itself. You can see, according to the area consideration that you've been took it from the project, initially, first thing should be the orientation of the building. So here they mentioned the top side is north, which is meant to be the top side is north. Then it should be east, south, and west, isn't it? So on this one, on this tab or on this interface, you can see something like exposure. So let's start with northern exposure. Then you can see the wall gross area, then window quantity window 1 quantity, window 2 quantity, and door quantity. Here we need to start, beg your pardon, in Excel sheet, for this kind of wall and this other kind of aspects, you've been had your presetted U factors and the delta T plus CTD values, isn't it? But here you need to simply create the wall right here itself, which is meant to be, we need to create a wall structure for that project. So let's assume if this is a simple or even a 6-story building or a 5-story. I told you it's a medium weight building, isn't it? So here you can see, now I'm gonna create a normal wall assembly for that area itself. We can see this now. Overall U value. So normally these U values can be edited by changing the R value of this material. So let's start with the main thing itself. Outside surface color. So here I'm choosing a light color for the outside of the wall itself. You can see they are set at the layers from inside to outside, which is meant to be on the inside surface. They've been provided some kind of gypsum board and some kind of airspace, lightweight concrete block, and again phrase brick. So now I'm gonna changing it as to be on the inside side. I'm gonna use we'll be normally plastering the wall itself, isn't it? So I'm gonna use some kind of 1 by 2 inch gypsum plaster, which is meant to be the plaster, the concrete plaster, like this. That's it. Then I'm gonna use a typical wall construction that is meant to be a 4-inch lightweight not block. I'm gonna use some kind of a brick. Okay, 4-inch face brick. Again, I'm going to use a 4-inch face brick at the end of the other side. That means the outside of the wall again should be a plaster itself, like a gypsum plaster. Okay, you can see 1/2-inch gypsum plaster. So you can see at the end of this calculation, you will be getting an overall U factor around like 0.39. So these values not editable. Why? Because it's up to the material R factor itself or material R value. So if you need to edit this one, you need to put your hands on your put your hands on R value. So it's not preferable. I told you, if you change this material according or likewise right inside the site, you'll be getting a value according to the materials that you've been provided right inside this column itself. So however, either you can edit this option or you can directly choose from according to the site variations itself. So whatever, this is how you create your wall assembly. So I'm going to naming this as to be my wall 1. So this is the concept of wall creation. Is it clear? So this is the peculiar way to create a wall for the project itself. Hello? Is the wall creation is clear? So what is the relevance of wall creation? Then only we can use this U factor, isn't it? Here, we just created a U factor according to the materials. All right. So that's it. Okay, ma? Hello?
Here, no, sometimes, before
Sorry?
PM.
No. I told you, you don't need to concern with that things. Actually,
Okay.
it should be already taken in the upcoming software calculation itself. We don't need to concern about that factors. What are the things they're asking? Just enter that thing itself. Okay, clear? Because once you set this walls, in the weather tab, you already seen those scenarios, isn't it? I mean, seen on the third menu, isn't it? Especially the multiplier values like in northern exposure, what should be the probable heat gains, isn't it? That you've been already seen in the weather itself. It should be a presetted value. Don't need to concern about that factors. Okay. You need to barely enter the value of the wall and the other kind of things. So once it's done, on the same time, they're asking about window. So that means we need to create a window. That means according to the project, we need to create the window for that one. Okay, you can see this one now. I'm just selecting this window length. It is 7 feet 10 inches, isn't it? So the length of the window is 7 feet 10 inches. On the project, they given the window height is 4.5 feet, which is 4 feet 6 inches. So how to create a window, especially for northern side? Just click onto the window 1. Then you can see something like this one itself. I'm going to name it as to be window 1. And you can see the height. So what was the height of the window? 4.5. And what is the width, which is meant to be the length, which is 7.10 inches. That is 7.8 feet. Okay. Then normally the window or the glass U factors that we are considering is 0.56. So just let's enter the value right there itself. Suppose if you enter this detailed input, you can see you need to enter the transmissivity factor, reflectivity factor, absorbivity factor for each glazing. But these values are forbidden for us. So let's be honest, just enter the known values, especially the height, width, and the U factor. That's it. Once it's ready, just go on to click on to this OK option. Then our window is ready now. Suppose in the same northern exposure, you have instead of 7 feet 10 inches, the third window is something like 7 feet or 5 feet it's only. Okay. So instead of the 7 feet 10 inches, the third window is only 6 feet. Then you need to choose it as to be window 2. So on this window 2, you need to enter the specific data of the window 2. That means on the same exposure, if you're having different kind of windows, you can segregate them. It has to be window 1 and window 2. That's it. That's the concept of window 1 and window 2. So here, I know that for probably for whole windows, the length and the areas are same itself for each and every exposure. Okay, now that's it. And after that, here for this column, that means for the specific tab, you can see this now, wall gross area. This column means not the wall area, but you might need to add the entire area, which includes the glass also, which we know that's around like 38 feet 4 inches, isn't it? So 38.3 into BOS, which is meant to be 12 feet, isn't it? It is around like 459.6, which is 460 square feet, isn't it? So 460 square feet, which means that is the total wall plus glass area. So once you enter this value, then you can defaultly enter the window quantities like this way. 1, 2, 3, isn't it? That means 3 number of windows are there. And for this 3 number of windows, we already entered the area, isn't it? Or right inside the window creation, isn't it? So this means actually the HAP will automatically subtract the window area from the gross area itself. Okay. Clear? Okay, guys. So is it clear? Is this step is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now that's it. So similarly, you need to use the same thing for the other exposures like eastern exposure. Pardon. Then while choosing for eastern exposure, again, guys, you don't need to change the wall factor. If there is a change in window, then you can use it. But that may by clicking onto this option, you can again select to this create new window. Then you can see this now. Automatically, you need to enter the new length and height of that window at that specific exposure. Similarly, it should apply for the window 2 also. That means on that same exposure, you having different area on that specific exposure once again, then you can create window 2. Clear now? So this is the concept of this one itself. Hello, is it clear? All right, I hope so. So I'm not going to enter the other values right here itself because tomorrow I will show the uh, completed calculations now. Okay, now again, roofs and skylights. So what do you mean by roofs and skylights? Once again, guys, you need to might enter the other areas like east, south, west. Okay, I'm not going to enter right now. You know, it's a time consuming thing. Like it's a time wasting thing. Okay, for me. Okay, while you are doing, do it properly. Then roofs and skylights. So we know roofs and skylights, which means preferentially here we need to understand that whether we having roofs or not. So if you having roofs, then once again you need to create the roof like this way. The first inside surface, sorry, the inside surface should be steel deck, and on top of the steel deck you will be having a boarding insulation. Then you will be having a built-up roofing. So according to this arrangement, we can see the overall U factor. Okay. So if you change this color, probably you can change the material like a phase-inch con. Otherwise, you can use a concrete block or like an 8-inch high weight concrete block. So it's your call according to the civil side aspects. So however, here I'm not going to create any roof for this project. So let it be there itself. If you're having roofs, then you can see, for example, once you created this roof, at the same time, you need to mention the exposure. So we might wonder, were we having exposure for the roof? Yeah, we having exposure for the roof. Why? Because, you know, if it is a horizontal roof, automatically the area from this general should be updated right here itself. You can see this now. But If you choose the stars to be northern exposure, you can see some kind of roof slope. That means the roof is probably inclined to a certain orientation itself. You know, the slanted roofs now, that's what it's meant to be. So for that specifically, those kind of roofs, you know, they might have some kind of roof slope values. Okay, so that values you can take from architect or either from the civil side itself. Then now it's about the other factor, which is skylights. So I hope you've been seeing the skylights. Skylights, it's a bit similar to the glass itself or like a window on the roof. You can see this now. These are meant to be the skylights. So once again, in order to provide the skylights, initially you need to provide the area of the skylights by precisely mentioning the height and width of that specific skylight piece. And once again, the U factor should be still same as for the glass itself, which is 0.56. Okay, now that's it. Then once it's done, you need to enter the skylight quantity, like how much skylight quantity, which is same as per the glass itself, guys, which is meant to be the window itself. No need to concern about that much factors. Okay. So if you having skylights, just enter the quantities with a specific area. That's it. Here I'm mentioning it has to be not used. Why? Because inside this project, the client is already mentioned that floor above is first floor, which is already an AZ. That means no ceiling load. Literally no roof, no ceiling. That's it. Okay, so that's it. Now after that, you can see infiltration. So on this infiltration column, here they're asking for when fan is off, how much CFM should enter right inside the area. So first of all, this infiltration can't be measured. You know, desperately, this is an unknown value. That means we can't predict how much CFM is going to enter when the fan, which is when the machine is in off position itself. We can't predict that value, isn't it? That's why generally infiltration is neglected for this HAP software, which is meant to be on the calculation. They are not going to consider this infiltration. If you know the value, just enter the value. But you know, it's hard to find out. So let it be there itself. Then so that's all about the infiltration side itself. So is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Hello? Hello? So is it clear? So I think it's enough for today. So
Yes.
I taken a lot of things actually. So just go around to class once again. Okay now. So is there any doubts till this now? Because tomorrow it's not yet completed. We need to consider a lot much things in the upcoming sessions. Okay now. Tomorrow we can complete the HAP software. Okay. So no need to.
സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയറിന്റെ ലിങ്ക് കിട്ടും
Sorry.
ഈ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയറിന്റെ ലിങ്ക് കിട്ടും
Sure. ഞാനത് അയച്ചുതരാം. Just I will just intimate it in the morning. Yes. Okay. ഞാനത് ഓഫീസിൽ പോയിട്ട് അയച്ചുതരാം probably. So whatever. So we need to consider a lot of things here, especially we not yet completed the general sites, isn't it? Like spaces. Once we completed the spaces, the other point is which is systems. You know, it's about the equipment specification. So in next class, we will be going to discuss that topics. And once it's done, you will be getting the output of that HAP software itself. Sorry, of that project itself. Clear? Okay now. Is there any other doubts?
Sir, on the old இதுல அந்த all glass factor ன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு
Yeah, I
HVAC
remember.
calculation
Yeah, that's it. Told you guys. You don't need to concern about that much factor. What is that step? What is that step on? So no need to concern about that factors. Actually, it should be already concluded or included right inside the calculation itself. Okay now. புரிஞ்சுதா ஷாஃபிக் உங்களுக்கு?
based on
இதுல நீங்க
E20 க்கு இல்லைங்களா சார்? அந்த E20
இங்க
ல
பாருங்க,
mandatory.
இதுவும் கேரியரோட E20 மெத்தட் தான். ஓகேங்களா?
அதுதான் sir.
இதுவும் கேரியரோட சாஃப்ட்வேர் தான். கேரியரோட அதே E20 மெத்தட ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேரா யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. லைக் ரெண்டு சாஃப்ட்வேரா ஓபன் லைக் எக்ஸலும் கேடும் பண்றதுக்கு பதிலா நீங்க பியூர்லி ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேர் பேஸ்டா போறீங்க. புரியுதா? அவ்வளவுதான் டிஃபரன்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு, வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை. ஓகே, ஸோ இதுலயே ஆல்ரெடி உங்க வேல்யூஸ் எல்லாமே இருக்குது. ஓகே, so I hope it's enough for today. We'll be catch up with the tomorrow sessions. Okay guys, have a great day ahead. Bye.